Weilà raga, come state ragazzi? Hope you're all doing well today. We're going to be looking at the future tense, specifically the futuro semplice. We're going to look at another form of the future in another lesson. And of course, welcome back to our Zero to Hero grammar series, where we're taking a look at Italian from the most basic of concepts and gradually working our way up. Today we're looking at the future. Let's go right on over to our digital whiteboard. So this is the futuro semplice, otherwise known simply as the future tense. Now it's very self-explanatory. When is it used? To talk about anything happening in the future. Nice and simple. Let's go straight into some verb endings. I've got some good news for you. The are and ere verb endings are the same. So we love when we don't have to memorize a whole lot of stuff. We love a lot of crossover and recycling. So let's take a look at the verb imparare. Imparare is a very useful verb when learning a language, because what does it mean? To learn. So let's take a look here. We've got io imparerò. Io imparerò. Tu imparerai. Imparerai. Lui, lei imparerà. Noi impareremo. Impareremo. Voi imparerete. R-E-T-E. Imparerete. No, we have to do one more. Imparerete. Ecco, imparerete. E loro impareranno. Okay, so the verb endings are E-R-O, E-R-A-I, E-R-A, E-R-E-M-O, E-R-E-T-E, E-R-A-N-N-O. So, erò, erai, erà, eremo, erete, eranno. Let me show you an adverb just to help reinforce what we did here. We always do leggere. Do I have any other verbs besides leggere? Let's do prendere. Yeah, let's do prendere. So prendere means to take or also to get. Also a very, very useful verb. Okay. Io prenderò. There we go. Maybe this is a bit of an easier verb because comprare has that extra R in it. Tu prenderai. Lui, lei. And I don't know why I wrote tui. I'm thinking about lui already. Lui and lei. Can't jump that far ahead. Lui prenderà. Noi prenderemo. Nice. Yeah, this is a much better verb. Voi prenderete. Yeah, so much better. I like this one a lot. Loro prenderanno. Nice. Verb endings are exactly the same. E-R-O with the accent mark. E-R-A-I, E-R-A with the accent mark. E-R-E-M-O, E-R-E-T-E, E-R-A-N-N-O. Erranno. Nice. And let's just go straight for an ida verb. The verb endings are very easy, very similar in the futuro. Let's do scoprire, but that has an extra I. That's okay. Let's do seguire. Let's do that one. Yeah. Seguire, which means to follow. I did that one in the lesson on the imperfetto, I believe. Yeah. Okay. Io seguirò. Tu seguirai. Yeah, this is also a nice verb. Imparare didn't work out the way I liked it. I don't know why. I just think for teaching purposes, these are better verbs. Lui, lei seguirà. Noi seguiremo. Yeah, awesome. Voi seguirete. E loro seguiranno. Yep, love it. Seguiranno. Hold on to that double N. io seguirò, tu seguirai, lui, lei seguirà, noi seguiremo, voi seguirete, loro seguiranno. Yeah, the way I say it is seguirete, seguirete. I want to look up how the dizione, how they do it in dizione, which is the like proper, so to speak, Italian way of speaking. It's how dubbers speak, people that are dubbing films and people that study, diction. It's a whole field. It's really cool. So what's the main point here as we're looking at these verb endings? Basically, the verb endings are always ro, rai, ra, remo, rete, ranno. That's how I learned them when I was in school. But a way of also looking at them is ERO, ER-A-I, and stuff like that. And then for the ita verbs, you just put an I in front of it. It's up to you. But the way I liked learning it was I did it like this. I did io, ro, tu, rai, lui, lei, ra, noi, remo, voi, rete, loro, ranno. That's how I learned it. Ro, rai, ra, remo, rete, ranno. I remember we did it like that when I was in school. And then if it was an ere or are verb, just put an e before it. And if it's an ire verb, just put an I before it. That's how we did it. And I personally find that to be a bit easier. So, cool. Here are our verb endings. Let's do avere and essere, and then we'll just start doing a bunch of phrases. That's really all you need to do. So let's do avere. Okay, in the future. Io avrò. Tu avrai. Now remember, avere and essere are irregular. Not in every single tense, as we saw in the imperfetto, avere is not. But in the future, it is. Lui, lei avrà. Noi avremo. Voi avrete. Loro avranno. But probably why I preferred the ro, rai, ra way, because look what happens when you have an irregular verb like avere. They just don't include the e. It's just not there. So perhaps for that, because a lot of irregular verbs do this in the what do you call it? The future. Avrò, avrai, avrà. I'll show you another one. Let's do dovere. Dovere means to have to or must. In the conditional, it means should. We're going to get to the condizionale. So let me show you what this one looks like. Io dovrò. Yet again, it's another irregular verb. Tu dovrai. You will have to, is what that means. Lui, lei dovrà. Noi dovremo. Voi dovrete. Loro dovranno. Yeah, so that's why I'm a fan of the ro, rai, ra. Because with irregulars, such as these very common ones, that's how you do it. But, whatever works for you as you're going through this and trying to memorize it. And now let's do essere. Okay. I know I'm doing a lot of verb conjugations in this lesson, but that's okay. Sometimes it happens. We're just going to go with the flow. Let's see how it goes. Io sarò. Tu sarai. Lui, lei sarà. Noi saremo. I use that all the time. Voi sarete. Loro saranno. Nice. Let's put together some sentences, all right? Let's do that. Essere is super, super common in the future because it also speaks to one of the uses that I find is quite common and doesn't appear maybe as sort of straightforward on its face, but then once you see it in context, it just kind of feels like it all makes sense. Okay, let me put this into some context. So we could say, l'anno prossimo, so next year, l'anno prossimo sarò in Italia. There we go. Nice and easy. Next year, I will be in Italy. Can you use the present when talking about the future? You will see a lot of Italians do that. Yes. L'anno prossimo, but I don't like that. L'anno prossimo sono in Italia. It can work in certain contexts, but always try to go for the future when you can. Now, there's something I want to point out about the translation in English. The future in Italian can be translated to as the following. Next year, I will be in Italy. This can also mean next year, I'm going to be. To be in Italy. Let's see if I can squeeze that in. Yeah. Next year, I'm going to be or will be. In English, those are just two ways that we talk about the future. In Italian, this would be your unica traduzione. This would be your only translation to get that point across. So next year, I will be in Italy. Next year, I'm going to be in Italy. L'anno prossimo sarò in Italia. Nice. L'anno prossimo sarò in Italia. Nice. Now let me show you an alternative usage, because everything is just pretty much a literal translation with the future. If you don't know where something is, where someone is, what time it is, you're sort of making a guess. You can use essere in the future to say, well, it must be, 2 o'clock, for example. Someone could say, che ore sono? What time is it? You can respond, saranno. Oops, that is not how you spell saranno. Saranno le tre. This means it must be 3 o'clock. It's just an alternative use of the future, particularly with essere. It can sometimes be used with other verbs. I think it's more for the futuro anteriore when we're doing the compound version of the future. But yeah, che ore sono? Saranno le tre. It must be, più o meno, more or less. I think it must be 3 o'clock. It gives you that feeling. It literally means it will be 3 o'clock. If you don't know where someone is, you could say, Dov'è Marco? Where's Marco? Non l'ho visto. Non l'ho visto per tutta la giornata. I haven't seen him for the whole day. I haven't seen him the whole day. Tutta la giornata. You can say, sarà nella, let's say, biblioteca, right? He must be in the library. Biblioteca. I think it's 2 C's. Sarà nella biblioteca. Well, he must be in the library. A false friend in Italian is libreria. Libreria. This is a bookstore. And the reason why I bring it up, it's called a false friend, a false cognate. You think it would mean library, but it means bookstore. The way to remember is that when you have this ria or ia, word ending rather, that's where things are sold. The way to remember that is a pizzeria. Everyone knows what a pizzeria is, right? We call it a pizzeria in English, but another way to call it is a pizza shop. Sometimes people say colloquially a pizza joint, I don't know if that's like an older term or anything, but when I was small, I feel like people used to say that. So libreria, pizzeria, panetteria is a bread shop, and so on. Pasticceria is for pastries. So yeah, biblioteca is the library. So he must be in the library. Oh, he'll be in the library. That's what that means. He'll be in the library. I feel like maybe it's more of an English thing, like from England. I almost kind of feel like maybe it's even more of like a Queen's English, or perhaps we now have to call it the King's English. I get that kind of impression. I'm not saying that is what it is, but that's the impression I get. Let's do a couple other examples here. I'd like to do andare. Andare is really good. Andare means to go. Let's do a lot of verbs today, guys. I'm feeling in a verb mood. I'm liking this. Io andrò. Lots of irregular verbs we're doing too, which is awesome. Tu andrai. Lui, lei andrà. Noi andremo. Voi andrete. Loro andranno. Nice. And let's say, let's use andrai. È vero che domani tu andrai. Let's use a different country instead of Italy. Let's say in America. Let's do that. È vero che domani tu andrai in America? Is it true that tomorrow you're going to America, you're going to the US, or you're going to go to America? That's a way of translating that. Could you say è vero che domani tu vai in America? That comes up a lot. But the future is always the most appropriate when talking about the future instead of using the present tense. But it can sometimes happen, okay? È vero che tu domani andrai in America? And what would the response be? Sì, domani andrò in America. Non vedo l'ora. Non vedo l'ora means I can't wait. So yes, tomorrow I'm going to America. Tomorrow I will go to America. It sounds very formal in English, like a real statement. I believe this can also work for shall. Tomorrow I shall go. Domani andrò. You know, we use shall in English more in like legal situations, feels a little bit more older English. It's very certain. We use shall in the law. So, domani andrò in America. Non vedo l'ora. Tomorrow I'll go to America. I can't wait. Awesome. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, I like this. I'm satisfied. The future is really easy in my opinion. I find it to be very straightforward. I'm glad we got the opportunity to do a lot of irregular verbs today. And we got to see that how with irregular verbs, they all kind of follow a pattern. You just don't add in an extra E or an I or something like that before that ro-ra-ra verb ending. So yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know if you have any questions down below in the comments section. As always, be sure to check out the videos we've done and stay tuned for the videos that we will be looking at, that we'll be getting to pretty soon, because we're just going to keep moving on up. All right, guys, always remember to spread the love, and I'll catch you on the next video. Ciao, ciao!